stand by for an important message. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States Geological Survey. At 3:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, multiple tremors were detected coming from the Bluff Point volcano area. At this time, an eruption of the volcano is not imminent, but residents should be prepared for the possibility of an eruption. A civil danger warning has been issued at this time, and residents should take the following precautions in case of a volcanic eruption. Prepare vehicles for evacuation. Have enough food, water, and clothing with you for 2 weeks. Prepare a battery-powered radio to receive news and updates in case of an eruption. The following counties are affected: Steuben and Yates. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation.
Good morning. This is 98.3 WVIN in Bath. We have received some news from the United States Geological Survey. Small tremors were detected coming from the area of the Bluff Point volcano. Scientists don't anticipate an eruption, but they are putting the area on alert. Listeners in the following towns and villages should pay close attention to the following recommendations. In Steuben County, the towns include Volcano, Urbana, Bradford, Wheeler, the village of Bath, the village of Hammondsport, and Wayne in Yates County. This includes Italy, Branchport, Cuca Park, Barrington, Milo, Jerusalem, and the village of Penyan. In the event there is an eruption, all residents must evacuate the area. Designated volcanic eruption routes have been established since the previous eruption. Everyone should have an emergency kit loaded into their vehicle that includes food, water, spare clothing, and battery-powered radios. In the event that electricity goes out due to an eruption, everyone should have a battery-powered radio. This is important so we can get information out to you as soon as we can. For now, the USGS has put the area under an advisory, and they are going to keep a close eye on Bluff Point volcano. You are listening to NOAA Weather Radio All Hazards Station WXN 55 on MT, Washington, operating on a frequency of 162.45 MHz, and WXN 29 on Call Hill, operating on a frequency of 165.425 MHz. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service office in Binghamton and serves the Central Finger Lakes area. Here are the current conditions at Bath, Hornell, Elmira, and vicinity. At Bath, it was mostly sunny. The temperature was 65 degrees, the dew point 48, and the relative humidity 42%. Wind was light and variable. At Hornell, it was mostly sunny. The temperature was 63 degrees, the dew point 49, and the relative humidity 40%. Wind was light and variable. At Elmira, it was partly cloudy. The temperature was 70 degrees, the dew point 44, and the relative humidity 45%. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation has issued an air quality alert for the following counties. In New York: Broome, Chemung, Steuben, Schuyler, Yates, Seneca, Tioga, Tompkins, Wayne, Delaware, Otsego, Ontario, Cayuga, Onondaga, Oneida, Madison, Chenango, Delaware, and Sullivan. Ash, smoke, and sulfuric acid have been steadily released from Bluff Point volcano. Exposure to particle pollution can cause serious health problems, aggravate lung disease, cause asthma attacks and acute bronchitis, and increase risk of respiratory infections. Residents are advised to use caution as conditions warrant. People with heart or lung diseases should follow their doctor's advice for dealing with episodes of unhealthy air quality. Additionally, older adults and children should avoid prolonged exposure, strenuous activities, or heavy exertion, as conditions dictate.
following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States Geological Survey. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. At 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bluff Point volcano has begun to show signs of an eruption. Earthquakes with preliminary magnitude of 5.6 on Richter scale have been detected coming from the volcano. An eruption is imminent. All residents in the counties of EAS and Steuben must take the following action now. Evacuate away from the volcano. Residents living within a 20-mile radius of the volcano should follow the posted evacuation routes. Take enough food, clothing, and water to last you up to 1 month. A volcano warning is now in effect until further notice. Pyroclastic flows cannot be ruled out, so you must evacuate immediately. Lava flow and ash fall is anticipated with this eruption. Ash particles can cause respiratory distress in those with breathing problems. If you notice ash fall, recycle the air in your car or home. To keep the ash out, stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation. Please stand by for an important message.
My name is Matthew James. I am a representative of the United States Geological Survey. My statement will be brief and I will not take any questions. At 11:45 a.m., the United States Geological Survey put out a volcano warning for the Bluff Point volcano located on Cuca Lake in central New York. This is the second time in less than a year it has erupted. We have made a startling discovery. The magma chamber below Bluff Point volcano is much larger than we anticipated. The caldera appears to be just smaller than Yellowstone's, and the length of the chamber is 35 miles by 20 miles. If the entire chamber were to erupt, which is what we are anticipating, the entire area within 60 miles of the volcano would be devastated and completely uninhabitable. This would rank the eruption as an 8 on the VEI index. This will affect crops in the Northeast and Midwest, and could potentially cause a nuclear winter. All residents living within a 60-mile radius of the volcano must evacuate. This includes the cities of Rochester, Elmira, Auburn, Ithaca, Cortland, Corning, Batavia, and Syracuse. Pyroclastic flows are expected to extend out within this 60-mile radius. Ashfall will cover the entire area, and this will cause respiratory distress even in people who do not have health problems. We are working with Pennsylvania and parts of Canada to allow residents affected by the volcano to evacuate to temporary shelters until the eruption subsides. We will continue to provide updates as we receive them, so continue to monitor your local radio and weather stations.
The National Weather Service in Binghamton and Buffalo have issued a special weather statement. Ashfall from the Bluff Point volcano eruption is expected to begin shortly. The 60-mile radius surrounding Bluff Point volcano is expected to receive ashfall rates of 1 inch per hour. Total accumulations of ash is expected to be between 12 and 16 inches. This will cause ventilation systems and roofs to fail. Residents who do not live in a sturdy building must evacuate to a shelter with a strong roof. Additionally, ash can mix with the moisture of the respiratory system and can cause respiratory distress. The air quality alert issued by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation is in effect until further notice. Elderly residents, or those with heart and respiratory conditions should not go outside for any reason. If you must go outside, you should wear an N95 mask or protective clothing over your nose and mouth. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation. tsunami warning is now in effect for the following lakes/shorelines: Cuca Lake, Seneca Lake, Cayuga Lake, Canandaigua Lake, Hemlock Lake, Canadas Lake, Honeoye Lake, Conesus Lake, and Lake Ontario extending from the U.S.-Canada border near Buffalo to the U.S.-Canada border at the St. Lawrence River. The large eruption at Bluff Point Volcano has triggered landslides along these lakes, triggering large tsunami waves. Take the following actions now. If you have not evacuated due to the volcano warning, evacuate to higher ground immediately. Do not attempt to drive over roadways that may become flooded due to tsunami waves. A tsunami is a series of large waves, and the first wave may not be the largest. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation.
Warning. Warning. Meltdown imminent. Evacuate immediately. Warning. Warning. Meltdown imminent. Evacuate immediately. Warning. Warning. Meltdown imminent. Evacuate immediately.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is 1380 WHAM. We will continue to serve the Rochester area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Rochester area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone liner should be kept open for emergency use. At 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the reactor at Gunay Nuclear Power Plant has experienced a meltdown. It is believed that the volcanic eruption at Bluff Point Volcano damaged the power plant, and the reactor has experienced a serious meltdown. All residents within a 10-mile radius of the Gunay Nuclear Power Plant need to evacuate immediately. Take the following actions now. Evacuate away from the power plant. Protective actions considered for this radiological emergency include evacuation, sheltering, and, as a supplement to these, the prophylactic use of potassium iodide as appropriate. Emergency shelters are being set up outside of the evacuation zone, but further evacuation may be considered due to damage from the Bluff Point volcano eruption. Take enough food, clothing, and water to last 1 month. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. The evacuation zone for the Gunay Nuclear Power Plant has been expanded to a 20-mile radius. High levels of nuclear radiation have been detected coming from the power plant, and exposure can cause life-threatening conditions. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this life-threatening situation. A tsunami warning is now in effect for the following counties: in New York, Steuben and Yates. A large landslide has occurred at Bluff Point Volcano. This has caused a displacement of water, and multiple large waves have impacted the shorelines along Cuca Lake. More landslides may occur. Move quickly away from its likely path, keeping clear of embankments, trees, power lines and poles. Stay away from the landslide. The slope may experience additional failures for hours to days afterwards. Do not drive over flooded roadways that have been impacted by tsunami waves. Flooded roadways will have rapid current, and your vehicle will be swept away if you get caught in it. Get to higher ground now. There is still a potential risk of another pyroclastic eruption from the volcano, and residents who have evacuated are advised not to return home at this time. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is a public information statement. The 60-mile radius surrounding the Bluff Point volcano has been completely devastated. Lava flows and pyroclastic eruptions have destroyed multiple towns surrounding the volcano, and pyroclastic eruptions have expanded to a 10-mile radius surrounding the volcano. Gunay Nuclear Power Plant, which is located on Lake Ontario north of the Bluff Point volcano, has experienced a catastrophic meltdown due to the volcanic eruption. The 20-mile radius surrounding the power plant has been evacuated, and high levels of radiation have been detected within 16 miles of the power plant. Significant ashfall has occurred in New York State, and ashfall has been detected as far east as the Atlantic coastlines. The eruption is still ongoing, and multiple tsunami warnings have been issued for Cute Lake due to collapses on the hillside surrounding the volcano. Residents of New York State are advised to continue to monitor local media outlets, and are advised not to return home at this time. Currently, the eruption has been classified as of EA8, and will continue to last for weeks to months. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this developing situation. The following message is being transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. A civil danger warning is now in effect for a 40-mile radius surrounding Bluff Point volcano. At 8:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a large and dangerous pyroclastic eruption has been detected coming from Bluff Point volcano. The pyroclastic flow is expected to expand out to a 40-mile radius surrounding the volcano. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. All residents who have not evacuated should do so immediately. Pyroclastic flows contain pumice, sulfuric acid, and high temperatures. Instant death occurs when someone becomes entrapped in the pyroclastic flow. All attempts to evacuate from the area should be made immediately. Failure to do so will result in instant death. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this dangerous and life-threatening situation.